Chapter 23. The death of John the Baptist. Jesus in the wilderness and at the sea of Gennesaret. Matthew chapter 14. Reuben's report about the new chief. The following morning was one of the brightest, and many of the guests who had retired before us were already romping about in the open, as I and the disciples and the Roman and Kistrona stepped out of the house. After we had spent some time outdoors, Bab and his family arrived from the city, for he had gone home late at night in order not to cause my house inconvenience. But on arrival in the city, and namely at the synagogue, he found great agitation there, so much so that he did not dare to ask the cause. Something grave must have taken place, as he had never before noticed such uproar among the servants and lords of the synagogue. Say I, this will be the result of the new broom, who will have arrived at Jerusalem after Jairus' resignation, taking over and probably intend to pay a visit here at Nazareth. There is indeed very little to it, and we shall tuck into our ready morning meal notwithstanding. Thereafter, I turned to the two youths still present. Hasten to the synagogue and bring me the elder Reuben. I need to speak to him. But move with unhurried step, so as not to betray yourselves through a sudden appearance. The two angels at once do as I commanded them, whilst we betake ourselves to the morning meal, consuming it with good cheer. Upon our leaving the tables, Reuben already arrives with the two angels, bowing down low before myself and the highly ranking Romans still in attendance, saying emotionally exhausted, "Ah, Lord, over here is heaven, whilst over there in the synagogue, hell in fullest rage. Lord, I need not tell you, knowing only too well, that nothing in the whole world can be unknown to you. Yet it is truly despairing the way our most recent chief carries on. I relinquish my humanity if this man is not a physical brother of Satan. For a start, he not only robs us financially, but of all other possessions as well, so that we don't know how we shall provide for our families from here on, taking away all flour, peas and beans, grain and smoked fish. He registers our oxen, cows and calves as property of the temple, and shall thus take them from us without mercy. He has furthermore declared us as apostate from the temple, wanting on top of that to hit us with every fine in the book, for they in Jerusalem are supposed to be aware of all that is taking place here, and he is supposed to have instructions to have you arrested as public deceiver and stirrer, and hand you over to the courts. What will you say of such bestiality? Herod is supposed to know your every move. He would have for a long time already taken steps against you, if he were not of the erroneous opinion, which was instilled in him by a seer that is supposed to have been a secret disciple of John, that you are John risen from the dead. For he had John beheaded in prison on instigation of Herodias, having his head presented to her on a platter as proof of his promise to her. From these few details, O Lord, you will be able to gather how things stand. I say unto you that unless you counter this with all your might, then you and all those with you here are physically gone. For I cannot say more unto you other than all hell has categorically broken loose. On your head alone 10,000 pounds of gold are set. Here I call Matthew over, saying to him, Record that which you are going to hear now. Matthew forthwith fetches his writing utensils and gets ready to write. But I say to Reuben again, "Friend, you have now tossed John's sad story out casually. Be so good and tell it the way the new chief told it to you, for I am concerned that the thing should be recorded that way." Says Reuben, "I will do so with the greatest eagerness in the world, but I fear that I shall be missed, and we are in danger of the Satan's brother of a chief coming out here and creating a great furor." Say I, "Fear not, for we still have power sufficient here for putting a warden on him." Says Reuben, "If so, then I shall at once render John's story the way the chief told us, word for word." These were his words.